With the release of the 2.2 Trailblazer quest, we now have access to the brand new Harmony Trailblazer. Thanks to a new mechanic, Super Break, this Trailblazer enables break teams to deal consistent damage even when enemies are already broken. In this guide, I'll go through all the differences between break damage and Super Break and how to maximize your Super Break damage. Keep in mind that this video is a Super Break guide, not a Harmony Trailblazer guide, and assumes you understand how normal break damage works. If not, feel free to check out my previous video on break. Anyways, let's take a look at Super Break. There are three main differences between normal break damage and Super Break damage. The first is the element multiplier. In Super Break's damage calculation, this multiplier does not exist. This means that the element of your attack will have absolutely no effect on Super Break damage. This is nice for characters like the imaginary Trailblazer, whose normal break damage is lowered by the imaginary element. The second difference is the max toughness multiplier, which also does not affect Super Break damage. Instead, a new multiplier based on your attack's toughness damage takes its place. This multiplier is equal to your toughness damage divided by 30. Here is the formula for toughness damage. If you are interested in a detailed explanation, check out my break video. But as an example, if your attack does 180 toughness damage, this multiplier would be 6. If an attack hits multiple enemies, damage is calculated individually. For example, if a bounce attack deals 60 toughness damage to one enemy and 30 to another, the toughness multiplier against the first enemy will be 2, while the multiplier would be 1 against the second enemy. Finally, there is another new multiplier that matters when calculating Super Break damage. This multiplier is the Trailblazer's second ascension trace. This multiplier's range is between 1.2 and 1.6, depending on how many enemies are on the field. The less enemies, the higher this multiplier is. Keep in mind that this multiplier might be exclusive to the Trailblazer. Future Super Break characters might not have this multiplier, or it might be different. Those are all the differences between the break damage and Super Break damage formulas. Just like normal break, Super Break is affected by the level, break effect, defense, resistance, vulnerability, and broken multipliers, though the broken multiplier will always be 1 when dealing Super Break damage. The stats that increase Super Break damage are the following: higher character level, higher attack toughness damage, higher break effect, more defense reduction or ignore, more rest penetration or ignore, more vulnerability, and less enemies. And just like with normal break damage, attack, damage bonuses, crit rate, and crit damage won't affect your Super Break damage at all. Finally, here is a sample Super Break damage calculation. For this example, I will use a level 80 Shueyi with 300% break effect using her ult against a level 95 Quantum Weak enemy. This damage will be amplified by an E0 Ruan Mei, an E0 Gallagher, and an E5 Harmony Trailblazer. The level multiplier at level 80 will be around 3767. The toughness damage multiplier will be 6, as the toughness damage of Shueyi's ult is 180 with Ruan Mei's break efficiency buff. The break effect multiplier is 1 plus 300 over 100, which equals 4. The defense multiplier is 0.4651, as we have no defense reduction or ignore. The resistance multiplier is 1.25, thanks to Ruan Mei's ult and the enemy having no resistance to quantum. The vulnerability multiplier is 1.12 thanks to Gallagher's talent. The broken multiplier is just 1 since the enemy is broken. And finally, the Trailblazer's second ascension trace gives us a 60% damage bonus against one enemy, equal to a multiplier of 1.6. These multipliers are multiplied together, resulting in 94,203 final damage. That is very solid damage, considering Shueyi is meant to be a hybrid DPS. Future units that are going only for break damage are sure to have even stronger breaks. And that is pretty much it when it comes to Super Break damage. Leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, and as always, thank you so much for watching.